Plus, why is the city paying out hundreds of thousands of dollars to directly contradict the mayor?
So what you have is a classic example of speaking out of both sides of your mouth.
NBC5 investigates with the Better Government Association.
Now NBC5 investigates with the Better Government Association. In a famous speech 3 years ago, Mayor Emanuel tearfully said there was a code of silence in the Chicago Police Department.
So why does the city of Chicago keep paying big bucks to an expert to say there isn't one? Here's NBC5's Phil Rogers.
No citizen is a second-class citizen in the city of Chicago.
It was shortly after the release of the shocking Laquan McDonald video, just after Officer Jason Van Dyke was charged with murder, that Mayor Emanuel choked up as he admitted before the city council that a thin blue line, a code of silence, existed in the Chicago Police Department.
It is this tendency to ignore. It is a tendency to deny. It is a tendency in some cases to cover up the bad actions of a colleague or colleagues.
It was a stunning admission, but we've learned that when millions of dollars are on the line, the mayor's lawyers take a very different position.
When the city defends its police misconduct cases in court, it hires the experts who will say the exact opposite.
Defense attorney Antonio Romanucci recently won a whopping $44.7 million judgment for a man named Michael Laporta, shot by Chicago police officer Patrick Kelly. In that case, Jeffrey Noble, a police consultant based in Southern California, testified there is no thin blue line in Chicago. It is my opinion, he said, that there's no widespread pervasive practice of the code of silence within the Chicago Police Department.
You see that as the city of Chicago with two completely contradictory messages.
It's two contradictory messages to pull the wool over the community's eyes.
And it's costing you money. NBC5 investigates, and the Better Government Association found at least 26 civil lawsuits where the city has hired Noble to repeatedly give his expert opinion that Chicago police don't cover up wrongdoing. The cost to taxpayers for Noble's services, more than $300,000 since 2010, including at least 5 cases since Emanuel's 2015 speech, where Noble said the infamous code of silence simply does not exist.
So what you have is a classic example of speaking out of both sides of your mouth.
Attorney Jeffrey Neslin was the attorney for Laquan McDonald's family, but more recently won a $4.7 million judgment for Kiara Williamson and her 2 brothers who were shot by a Chicago police officer on New Year's Day 2014. Noble's expert opinion in that case, no code of silence, in spite of what the mayor said for public consumption.
What are your impressions of that?
It's intellectually dishonest. You say one thing to the public, but then in private litigation to fight it tooth and nail, to hire experts, to pay them an exorbitant amount of money to contest and deny what you're saying publicly.
Jeffrey Noble declined our request for an interview, referring us to the city law department, which likewise refused to go on camera. A spokesman sent us a statement saying Noble's testimony merely reflects his own conclusions on individual cases and does not, they insist, contradict the mayor. Phil Rogers, NBC5 investigates.